To this Minute with Mary. I'm going to be doing a sugar plum inspired lip, some sugar plum stuff on my eyes, but honestly I'm going to be doing a full and complete look today as I'm dropping things. So please come on in and say a little hashtag hello lovely. Write down those comments below whether you're watching it live or watching it on the replay. I love to see who's able to tune in. For fun, you can also let me know where you're tuning in from. So this is going to be a full look. I am going to be putting on some foundation. I have already done my primer. I've put a little bit of concealer on my eyes and I have done my brows. I actually am using my new Prime and Set Mist. This was part of last week's holiday special. I've been having holiday specials since November began, believe it or not, and this is week 9. Next week will be week 10 and it will be my last of the holiday bundles. So if you do need anything for Christmas, I do want to let you know that you're going to want to get your order in this week, whether it's for you or gifting. But if you're looking more towards New Year's makeup or even just honestly having a new skincare or makeup routine for 2022, which sounds like a swear to say, I'm sorry that I had to say that out loud, please let me know, as I'd love to make sure that you get the best deal, but also that we get the right products for you. So as I said, do me that little favor and put the hashtag hello lovely down below. This is really cool, this new Prime and Set Mist. So it's a continuous spray. It's not anything harsh. It's a really light, fine mist, and you can use it as your primer and your setting product. So I already did let that sit on my face, but I just wanted you to see the mist in action. But it really is a great product because it's 2-in-1. Let me turn that off. I just want to make sure. Good, that is working. I'm trying to also make sure that I'm on Instagram. Yay, I am. Hello, Instagram friends. Yay, because I know that there's some people there that I want to say little hellos to. All right, let's get this rocking and rolling. So as I said, I already put concealer on my eyelids. My eyelids have a lot of discoloration, freckles, veins. This time of year, as I lose any semblance of summertime color, all of kind of my unevenness and splotchiness, thanks to my Celtic heritage, does show up. So I love to put a little bit of concealer there, particularly if I'm doing an eyeshadow look. While I do my eyeshadows, the primer sits on my skin. So you can either use your traditional kind of creamy based primer or this new Prime and Set spray if you did order it from me last week. It will be part of my core line, that new 2-in-1 product, but it's not available right now. That's kind of how some of these things are when they're limited edition. We do like an early release here in the holidays and then we go forward. So I like to do my eyeshadows before I do my face makeup. It's just my preference, but this way, if I do ever mess anything up, I'm able to easily remove it without removing all of my makeup and all that kind of stuff. So, all right, we're going to start it off, and I'm actually going to be utilizing one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes. So you can find this at minutewithmary.com. It's a beautiful eyeshadow palette. It's palette number 9, and it's honestly like your go-to color. So you can either do taupes and browns and nudes. There's a little bit of pinks and cranberries. There's this nice kind of grayish bluish color, which is really neat. This shade right here is a bit of a shimmer, whereas these two are very light in regards to the shimmer. It's more of I don't know, just kind of lightens up the product a little bit. So we are going to be utilizing this compact. If you are looking for an eyeshadow compact, this is a great one because you really can do neutral everyday looks and glam looks. Before I delve into that, I am going to exfoliate my lips. The star of the show is going to be my Sugar Plum lips. So I'm taking a little bit of my lip exfoliator. This one is empty. No, good thing I can order a new one this week since my lip bundle is on sale this week. You can either get a regular lip exfoliator or you can get a peppermint one. So if you're a peppermint fan like myself, let me know in the comments below. Hi Lauren, how are you? Good to see you here. So this is a sugar scrub. You can let it sit on your lips. You can actually take your finger and use this to exfoliate any of the dead skin that is on your lips. Really makes a huge difference for your lipstick application. I actually love to use this as part of my skincare routine as well. So if you're someone who, like me, with the dry environments, the cold of the winter, your lips are getting a little flaky, but you do want to have something on your lips in regards to color, do yourself a favor, grab this week's bundle so you can get that lip exfoliator. It's going to make a world of difference. So I'm going to let that sit on my lips. The exfoliation already happened, but now I'm going to let kind of all the nutrients of the hydration part sink into the lips as I do my eyes. So to start things off, I am going to take a blending brush. Big old fluffy blending brush right here in this nude shade right there. I love to put down a little bit of nude powder, either face powder, setting powder, or a nude eyeshadow before I apply powder eyeshadows. I just find that they blend much easier with each other, particularly if, like me, you had to put on an eye primer or a concealer. You don't want to have any of that sticky tackiness necessarily if the goal is for blending. I mean, you do want some of the tackiness to really hold onto the pigment, but for me, just putting a little bit of this light nude shade really creates the canvas that I'm looking for. So I'm going to take that same fluffy, actually no, I'm going to take a fluffy crease brush just to mix things up a little bit. And as I said, I'm doing kind of like a sugar plum fairy look. So I'm going to go in with this matte pink shade right here with a fluffy crease brush, and I'm going to lay this down as my transition shade. So transition shades are around your crease and a little bit above. This helps the other colors blend seamlessly. So this is going to be a multi-step eyeshadow look, but really it's attainable. If you're someone who, you know, you're only used to either doing no eyeshadows or one eyeshadow, this might be something to practice on, laying down that transition shade. Hi Kate, how are you? Hi Emily, good to see you here. Hope that you're doing well, my friends. So just laying that color down. The great thing with a transition shade is even if that is all you do, if all you do is lay down a transition shade in that crease area, a little bit down onto your lower lid, you can even do your whole lower lid, and then a little bit more underneath that brow bone, that already looks great by itself. So practicing the placement of your transition shade is one of my biggest tips for new people who want to start to play around with makeup. It helps warm up your eyes, add a little bit of dimension. Traditionally, you want to do a matte light shadow for your transition shade, and then the others can easily blend into it. Just back and forth, that windshield wiper motion. And I leave right underneath my brow free and clear for more of either a highlight shade or just a light nude shade. That is going to help my eyelid get a little bit of a lift. So I don't bring my transition shade right under that brow, but almost. There we go. So I laid down that matte pink transition shade, rocking and rolling there. And I am going to double check and make sure that Facebook is working, because sometimes it gets a little crazy for me. Sometimes it does. All right, next I'm going to lay down the crease shade. So when you work with a crease shade, you may want to do something like a small crease brush. It's a more densely packed bristles, really helps with the precise look that you might be going for, and it keeps the colors more saturated. The more fluffy and light your bristles are on your brush, the lighter the application is going to be. Yay, comments are on Facebook. I just didn't see them. Hi, Nicole. Hey, Erica and Brittany. How are you? Thank you for tuning in. Hi, Laura. All right, I'm just going to have to finagle some of this. We switched around a little bit of my setup, and so I want to make sure that I can always see your comments. There we go. All right, so we're going to go in now, and I'm going to use this kind of cranberry shade. Once again, I'm going for that Sugar Plum Fairy, so we're thinking reds and pinks and purples and all those kind of yummy mauve shades. So I'm just going to dab my bristles into that product right there. And I love this compact because it has a really nice big mirror. My little fingerprints were all over it right there for you, but it's a really great mirror, particularly if you're someone like me who has to wear glasses or contacts. Your eyesight might not be the best. This is a really nice big mirror. So when you're applying your crease shade, you want to think of the shape 7 or V in that outer corner into your crease. And if you're someone like me who has slightly hooded eyelids, you may want to go a little bit above your crease so that you can actually see the color that's going on. And I just start to place it ever so gently. You can always build the color up. Less is more when you're working on those darker colors. Start off, make sure you got the placement right, and then you can go in and add a little more. What I don't want you to do is just come off right away and have it really, really strong. Rachel says your hair is so long and looking wavy and pretty. Did you overnight curls or is that natural waves? I wish this was natural waves, Rachel. I wish it was. There are some days where I feel like I can rock some natural waves, but that's more in the summer. So right now, this time of year, my hair gets to be pretty straight. But I curled my hair yesterday, and then I just kind of refreshed them a little bit today. My hair really changes with the season. So I'm doing that 7 or that outer V right here. Yeah, I have like a wand, a special curling wand. I'm trying to figure out how to use these things. I've been out of practice. My hair feels like it grew long overnight. I had all that short hair as I was growing out my silvers, and then all of a sudden I woke up and I feel like I have long hair again. So I have to honestly take the time to relearn how to style longer hair and how to style it in a way that I like and that's flattering. So it's a whole little journey. All right, so you can see that 7 or that V in that outer corner shape. That's, once again, I'm just doing the placement. So I'm going to take that fluffy blending brush, fluffy crease brush, excuse me, and I'm just going to lightly blend the edges. The trick behind this is when you're doing little circular motions rather than windshield wiper back and forth, it's going to help the color stay more pigmented, because even though this is a fluffier brush, which is going to lighten up the color a little bit, I still want it really saturated in that outer V. So I'm just going to circle back and forth, When you do this cool little outer V trick, it's going to help your eyes look bigger, make your your eyeshadow look a little bit more dramatic, and it really looks flattering on all eye shapes and all ages. Now I'm going to go in and do the inner 2/3 of the eye with that beautiful shimmer shade to really capture the magic of the Sugar Plum Fairy. So right here, this shade, I'm going to pat. Whenever you work with something that has more of a shimmery consistency, pat your brush instead of swiping it, or else you're going to end up looking like Tinkerbell with fairy dust all over the place. So I pat it inside the pan, and then I also pat it on my eyelid because I want that shimmer aspect to really be picked up. Oftentimes with shimmery types of eyeshadows, if you swipe it and you use more of a fluffy brush, the shimmer aspect diffuses. You can't see it as much. It'll be more of a matte shade. But if you're using more of a densely packed brush and you're patting and placing rather more than swiping, you're really going to get that color payout. How you doing, Brittany? How's the family? Hope everything is well. So you can see how it catches that light really, really beautifully. Helps open up the eyes, giving me that magical little Sugar Plum Fairy look that I'm going for. Now my lips are going to be the star of the show today. So I didn't want my eyes to be overly dramatic. I'm not going for a sultry, really dramatic look, but I did want to include the colors of the Sugar Plum Fairy on my eyes. Personally, when it comes down to makeup, I like to have either the eyes or the lips be the star of the show. If I'm going super duper dramatic with my eyes, I do more of a nude lip. If I'm going to have a really big, bold, colorful lip, I might do more of a simple eye, and that's what I'm choosing today. So once again, I patted on that shimmer shade, taking that fluffy crease brush once again, or you could take your blending brush and just going along the edges, not letting any harsh edges really show on this look. All right, there we go. So you can see, nice, light catching, great even for daytime. So I'm not doing anything too dramatic. I am going to go and do a little bit of a liner, however. I think I'm going to just pick up some of this brown. It's kind of a warm brown shade, still within that palette 9. Great palette. I'm telling you, if you need some new makeup, if your makeup is old and you've had it for several years, this is an eyeshadow palette that you may want to check out. So I'm just taking a little thin eyeliner brush and bringing that product right into my lash line. This is a great tip if you're someone who likes the look of the fullness of an eyeliner near your lashes, but either the texture of your eyelid might be a little crepey and have a lot of texture to it, or if you're not very comfortable with having, eyeliner near your eyes, this is going to be a great option for you. So I'm just taking it right along my lash line and really helps exaggerate it a little bit. So I'm going to do the same thing right along here. I love using eyeshadows as an eyeliner. It helps really thicken and fullen it up. Fill it up. Not fullen it up. Look at me making up words. That's my MO, my friends. It was one of Blake's favorite things, particularly when I was on daily television, to see how many made-up words I would have. So there you go. Really easy. I'm going to finish the lower lid after I do my foundation. So speaking of foundation, I'm going to rock and roll with my liquid foundation, putting it on with a kabuki brush, giving it a good shake. Dun, 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 dun. So what are all of your holiday plans? Tell me, I want to know. Do you stay home? Do you go out? I love the holiday season. Just makes me happy. So I apply my foundation right in the center of my face and then I blend it out. Wherever you put your makeup first is going to be where it's the most saturated and most pigmented. So I always like to apply it right in the center of the face, and that way, as it blends gently towards the outer portions of my face, towards the hairline, towards the chin, it's not this thick, super full coverage. It really just kind of blends seamlessly into that neck and hairline. And you can see it's really canceling out all that awkward splotchiness that I have on my Celtic skin. Now I am doing more of a medium to fuller coverage today just because I am going a little glam, a little extra with my lips. But you know, you can choose all sorts of different types of foundations. You can use a light, you can, you know, really let your natural coloring and freckles and everything shine through. And you can do a full coverage. I find when I go more for a holiday glam look that I do like to amp things up a little bit coverage-wise. It's just my look. I like to have less things be distracting and really have the focus be on that lip or eye look that I'm going for. Awesome, nice and easy. And this of course has skincare infused in it, so it's going to be helping me while I wear it. I do like to right now set this with a little bit of powder. So you can use either a setting powder or a pressed powder. The world is your oyster when it comes to the products that you'd like to use for setting. Dun, 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 dun. Just a little light dusting. I didn't put concealer on. Let's see, did I put a powder there? I might be okay. You don't ever really want to have a powder concealer, like a creamy concealer on top of a powder. So I might actually conceal with a powder right now because I did do a little light dusting there. If you put a creamy concealer on top of a powder, it just becomes mud and it gets all sorts of gross. But I have found for me and my skin, I can get away with actually concealing with my pressed powder in a pinch. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a little sneaky Mary and get my lightest shade of pressed powder and get a little sponge and conceal. Conceal, don't feel would be good old Elsa. So right here, just my light shade in Scarlet. I'm going to go right underneath my eye. This may work for you and this may not, depending upon your under eye texture. I have found that this powder, because it's infused with skincare, that it's actually really good on my skin, even when it's dry. Look at that. I mean, I can see a difference. I don't know if you can, but for me, it really helps with the darkness. But some people obviously prefer more of the traditional creamy concealer. I usually prefer that look too. It's just I forgot. It happens. All right, we're going to warm things up with a little bit of my brand new matte bronzer right here. And my new contouring brush. So this will just add a little bit of dimension. Rachel says, a week from today, I'm going to have a 6-year-old, and we're going to be on our way to New York City. That's so exciting. I was supposed to be going to New York today. Plans change, life changes, plans change, and I'm actually a little thankful as the Northeast is going to be hit with a snowstorm. So I'm really thankful that I'm not heading to New York right now, but one of my best friends is in New York on a business trip, and we were trying to meet up. It's also her holiday parties and all this kind of stuff, so it's not working out this time. Next time we'll do it. But I was willing to drive about 6 or 7 hours today. I was going to drive down and back all in the same day. I don't live too awfully far from New York. I mean, I'm your typical Rhode Islander, your typical New Englander, where it's like, oh my gosh, how long is that drive? Anything over 20 minutes in Rhode Island is a long drive. But in normal places, that's not too bad. All right, so I'm just going around my hairline like that underneath my cheekbone, really to help add that dimension back in. As you do more of a fuller, medium to fuller coverage foundation, you do lose dimension in your face. So it's important for you to either come back in with either a darker shade of foundation or a bronzer, just to add that dimension back to your face. And there's a difference when it comes to shimmer and matte. Shimmer will help catch that light, but it's not always the best if you have texture in your skin, if you're someone who has a lot of large pores or scarring. Matte will help, as I said, add that dimension back. Now I'm going to go in with a plum shade to go with the Sugar Plum Fairy, a plum shade blush. This is the shade Surreal. Well, that's going to be so exciting, Rachel. Depending upon which direction you're driving, a 6-hour drive in New Mexico, you will still be in New Mexico. Isn't that crazy? It's funny because in Rhode Island, no matter which direction you go, within 18 miles, you're out of the state. Within 18 miles. So, or at least, no matter which, not no matter which. If you're somewhere in the state, one of the ways that you go 18 miles, you're out of the state. So you're either in Connecticut, Massachusetts, or the ocean. We are a tiny state, my friends. Very, very tiny. There is a ranch. I think it's like a cattle ranch or something. There's a farm or ranch in Texas that is the size or bigger of Rhode Island. Isn't that bananas? It's crazy. But we're a very proud and tiny state. So the cool thing with blush is a lot of people, just have their everyday blush shade, but you can actually switch your blush depending upon what you're wearing, the other makeup elements in your face. So we've got a little bit of that Surreal, and now I'm going to lock this face makeup on with that Prime and Set mist, that Prime and Set setting spray. I will say this time of year, I have a hard time not bronzing my entire face because I am so pale. But I think that there's some beauty into embracing what you got. There will be times this winter time where I will be using fake tan, my tanning drops or spray tanning and stuff, and I'll have to be switching up my foundation. But for me to embrace my inner vampire this time of year, not a bad thing, not a bad thing. So while I'm letting that setting spray really work its magic and lock in my foundation and my blush and everything, I'm gonna finish up these eyes. So I'm going to take just a little bit of eyeliner and tightline those upper lashes. Just get right into that base, right where we worked kind of that eyeliner brush. There's the word I'm looking for. There it is. What tightlining does is it once again enhances the fullness look of your lashes. You can tightline upper and bottom lashes, but for me, when it's a daytime look, if I'm trying to make my eyes look big, I just do my upper lashes tightline, and then I go on the actual lash line on the bottom, and I do smudge that out so it's not super duper harsh. And I'm even going to use that shade that I used as the eyeliner right there with the crease brush. Your vampire. I felt that to the core. My winter shade is already set in. Embracing it this year. I love it. I love it, right? Embrace your inner vampire. Pretend you're a Cullen. So once again, I'm just enhancing that lower lash line using a little bit of that dark eyeshadow and using this crease brush to kind of smudge out and blend out that eyeliner that I put below. This will help my eye look a bit more full and stand out a little bit without it being super duper dramatic. I might even take a little bit of that pink that I used for my transition shade just to work it a little bit more. Perfect. All right, we're rocking and rolling, friends. So I'm going to do my lashes really, really easy. Woo. Taking my 4D mascara. A couple of cool tricks when it comes to mascara. Take your wand out slowly, no matter which mascara you use. Hold a mirror below your chin. Look down and put that wand right where those lashes meet the skin. Wiggle and twist. Wiggle and twist. And you can almost kind of close your lashes, close your eyes slowly as you're applying it. What this is going to do is help curl your lashes, also creating that nice full look at the bottom. It's going to help stamp right where you had that lower eyeshadow, really creating that nice fullness. And then once you've got a great base to the lashes, go on and do the backs and fronts of the regular part of your lash. By holding the mirror down low, you're less apt to get that mascara all over your upper eyelid. I'm the queen of that every time I go live, so I haven't done it yet. There's still time for me to make a mess up. Every time I go live and do my mascara, I make an oopsie. I am not good at that whole like pat your head, rub your belly at the same time thing. Just not my thing. Right, so getting in really close, I'm stamping that product essentially at the base of those lashes. Combing it through, making sure it's really nice and full. And I pay a little extra attention right on the tips. I love this mascara. It's nice and dramatic, easy to use, a really stunning product. So I'm just doing the upper lashes today. I'm not doing the bottom ones, as I am focusing, as I said, on those lips. So let's wipe off this lip exfoliator and rock and roll with some Sugar Plum lips. Okay, I used my lip exfoliator. My lips are nice and healthy. They don't have all that flakiness going on. I am going to use my lipstick in the shade Fab. This is a great kind of purpley mauve kind of color. As I said, very much in the sense of Sugar Plum Fairy. I'm going to be making it an ombre lip. So if you've ever wanted to fake a look of having fuller lips, this is going to be the tip for you. Hi, Amy. How are you? Good to see you here, my friend. I should probably stop talking as I'm applying such a bold lippy. Now you can use lip liners. I do have a corresponding lip liner, which would be great, the shade Peppy. I might go in and work on that in a moment if I need it. But I'm going to see if I can do it without a lip liner for a moment. I did it. Can't talk while I apply lipstick. I'm sorry. I know some people can. I am not one of those people. All right, so we've got this gorgeous shade going on, but how do we make it ombre? Ombre meaning it goes light to dark. When you do an ombre lip, it's going to make your lip look fuller. The light aspect of the lip is in the center, so I'm actually just gonna take a little bit of my concealer. You can take a lighter lipstick as well. You can take a eyeshadow even, but I love to work with a creamy concealer. And I just apply it right there in the center of my lip. And then you blend that sucker out. And what this is going to do is it's going to make the center of your lips look a lighter shade. And you can accomplish this with using a lighter lipstick, a concealer like what I'm doing right now, and just kind of mush it around until you're happy with the consistency. Okay, so that is a great tip on how to create an ombre lip. You can always go back and kind of touch up if you found that you put a little too much concealer and you wanted to deepen things up. Oh, thank you, Amy. Thank you for that. Is everything you're using right now all in one kit? Sorry if I missed. Oh no, so this, not everything, but I can put a link to it, my friend. So send me a little message and I can send you the information with all these items, because my lip stuff is on sale this week. So this week you can get 2 lipsticks and either a lip exfoliator or a lip gloss bundled together, and then there are add-on options. So if you just wanted to get yourself all sorts of lippy products, really be set up for the new year with lip health, with your lip exfoliator, different options, either if you wanted matte lipsticks or glosses, all kinds of things, you just go to minutewithmary.com. There is this really cool virtual try-on feature, so you can try this stuff on and see what the colors look like on you. So one other tip, if you're trying to make your lips look a little bigger, a little fuller, I should say, is to put a gloss on it. Now, I need to make this known. Glosses do make a mess on masks. When you're looking towards something that will not make a mess on masks, you're looking for more of a matte color. If you're okay not wearing, if you're not wearing a mask, or you're, only putting it on for a very short amount of time, you can go more towards the glosses. If your goal is more to have a fuller look on your lip, glossing or creamy, that's the way to go. So this is a lip gloss in the shade, what is it? Lighthearted. It's got, once again, in that kind of plum shade, and I'm just gonna do a little bit all the center just to really add a nice pop of gloss. You can layer lipsticks and lip products and all this kind of stuff to create that nice happy medium. So if you wanted to have a nice all-day lip color, really long lasting, put on some kind of a matte lip first, either with lip liner, fill in your whole lips, or choose one of my liquid lipsticks or my matte lipsticks. That will lay down a nice layer that will be a bit more budge proof or really last you throughout the day. And then there's nothing to stop you from adding a creamy thing or a lip gloss on top for that added fullness to your lips, that nice added creamy or glossy texture. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Here's my little sugar plum look that I have done based for the holiday season. Once again, I did more of a subtle eye look as I wanted my lips to be the star of the show. I utilized more of a purple based blush, did more of those sugar plum colors on my eyes to really create this nice cohesive look. If you enjoyed this Minute with Mary, let me know in the comments below. If you have any questions, please always feel free to reach out to me, and I will talk with you soon. Have a great day, my friends. Thanks again, as always, for tuning in, and I hope that you have a lovely, lovely day.